Life like antique Egyptian royalty. Step back in time to a world of wonder and majesty. Welcome to ancient Egypt, where the rulers weren't just kings and queens, but living gods on earth. This video will take you on an immersive journey into the daily lives of Egyptian royalty, unraveling the mysteries of their opulent palaces, distinct traditions, and remarkable achievements. From grand celebrations to their eternal preparation for the afterlife, prepare to experience the ultimate glimpse into what it meant to live like a pharaoh. In ancient Egypt, pharaohs weren't typical monarchs. They were considered divine beings, imbued with the will of the gods. These rulers held the dual role of political leader and spiritual intermediary between humanity and the divine. The Egyptians believed their pharaoh was chosen by the gods to maintain harmony and order, known as Ma'at. The equilibrium provided by the pharaoh ensured prosperity, from fertile crops by the Nile to victory in battle. Royal life was one of unparalleled power and reverence, but it also came with immense responsibility. Pharaohs were expected to oversee every aspect of the kingdom, from the construction of grand temples to conducting sacred rituals. They weren't just pivotal to their people's physical survival, they also safeguarded their spiritual well-being. Egyptian royalty called opulent palaces their homes, marvels of architecture adorned with gold, precious gems, and intricate carvings. These grand residences were designed to reflect their inhabitants' divine status. Imagine vast halls with polished floors, walls painted with vibrant frescoes, and colossal pillars carved with hieroglyphic stories of gods and victories. Beyond their architectural splendor, these palaces hosted lush gardens teeming with exotic plants and shimmering pools fed by the Nile. Here, pharaohs could retreat to a serene oasis where they relaxed when not enacting the will of the gods or governing their lands. A day in the life of a pharaoh wasn't ordinary by any means. Their mornings would begin with sacred rituals, thanking their patron deities for protection and blessings. Following a royal breakfast featuring bread, honey, and dates, they would meet with advisors, priests, and military generals to discuss governance. After handling the affairs of state, leisure often took precedence. Whether it was hunting along the riverbanks, cruising the Nile in golden boats, or hosting elaborate feasts, the pharaoh's days balanced duty and indulgence. Egyptian royalty expressed their grandeur through a unique sense of style filled with symbolism. Their wardrobes showcased the finest linen robes, often decorated with elaborate embroidery. But clothing was only the beginning. Jewelry truly set them apart. Gold necklaces, colorful gemstone bracelets, and sacred amulets adorned their bodies, flaunting wealth and status while offering protection against evil. Perhaps the most iconic part of royal fashion was their crowns and headdresses. These weren't merely decorative, they symbolized their divine authority. The blue and gold Nemes headdress, famously worn by King Tutankhamun, remains a symbol of ancient Egyptian royalty to this day. Egyptian royalty knew how to throw a feast. Their banquets were spectacles of luxury, with tables overflowing with roasted meats, fresh fruits, spiced wines, and sweet desserts like honey cakes. But beyond food, these gatherings celebrated their connection to the gods. Music and dance played a central part in these events. Skilled musicians performed on harps, lyres, and flutes, while dancers adorned in flowing garments entertained the royal court. These lavish feasts weren't just parties. They were expressions of gratitude to the gods for their favor and abundance. Beyond regular banquets, pharaohs presided over monumental festivals, such as the Apet festival. This grand celebration honored the fertility god, Amun, with parades and ceremonies that united the people and spanned several days. To truly understand the life of a pharaoh, one must appreciate their sacred role. Pharaohs were believed to be intermediaries between the gods and humans. It was not only their duty to govern, but also to perform the rituals that kept the cosmos in balance. Sacred ceremonies often took place in sprawling temple complexes like Karnak and Luxor. Here, pharaohs offered food, perfume, and prayers to statues of gods, seeking their blessing for the Nile's flood or military conquests. The temples themselves were architectural marvels designed to radiate divine energy, with massive columns and towering obelisks that reached toward the heavens. Advisory priests played crucial roles in ensuring these rituals were correctly performed, blending spiritual wisdom with political strategy. Together, the pharaohs and their priests maintained Egypt's strong connection to the divine. No discussion of Egyptian royalty is complete without diving into their extraordinary obsession with the afterlife. The belief that life continued after death shaped much of their daily practices, and quite literally, their legacies. Pharaohs spared no expense in ensuring their smooth transition to eternity. Massive resources were invested in constructing sprawling tombs, such as the Great Pyramids of Giza or the Hidden Valley of the Kings. These burial sites were masterpieces of design, containing intricate carvings, booby traps, and passageways meant to protect the treasures buried alongside them. The mummification process, perhaps the most famous aspect of Egyptian burial practice, was conducted with methodical precision. This process preserved the ruler's body for eternity, allowing their spirit, or K, to live on. Along with their mummified remains, tombs were filled with grave goods like gold, gemstones, tools, and food to provide comfort and luxury in the afterlife. While the pharaohs lived extravagantly, they also oversaw innovations that influenced the world beyond their time. Their architectural achievements remain legendary. The construction of the pyramids, palaces, and temples not only showcased their engineering expertise, but also demonstrated their vision for enduring legacy. Medicine is another field where Egypt excelled, blending science with spirituality. Their texts on anatomy, surgery, and herbal remedies paved the way for advancements used by societies beyond their borders. Egyptian royalty also supported the development of writing. Hieroglyphics became a tool for recording important events, decrees, and ceremonial rituals, preserving their civilization for future generations to study and admire. Among the pharaohs, a few names rise above the rest. Ramses II, known as Ramses the Great, was celebrated for his military victories and the magnificent temples he commissioned. Cleopatra, Egypt's last queen, dazzled the ancient world with her intelligence, diplomacy, and legendary connections to Rome. Nefertiti shone brightly as a queen of unparalleled beauty, who played a key role in promoting revolutionary religious reforms. These figures didn't just shape their time, they shaped how we remember the grandeur of ancient Egypt today. There's an undeniable allure to the life of Egyptian royalty. Their achievements in governance, art, and science endure as testaments to their ingenuity. However, their focus on spirituality reminds us of the importance of connecting with something larger than ourselves, whether it's community, nature, or the divine. This connection not only drove the pharaohs to construct monuments that still stand over 4,000 years later, but inspired a culture that continues to captivate the imagination. The lives of Egyptian royalty remain an eternal source of fascination. They lived extravagantly, ruled boldly, and planned meticulously for their afterlife with a vision that blended power and faith. We hope this journey into their world has brought the past to life and sparked a deeper appreciation for this extraordinary civilization. And if you ever want to take this experience further, the modern world offers opportunities to see these wonders in museums or even visit Egypt itself, where history still whispers along the Nile. Let the pyramids guide us to remember. Long after the pharaohs have gone, their legacy still shines as brightly as the first rays over a golden desert.